Hi friends, in Planet Earth Dating, it's Monday, July 13th, 2015. Ra and Pan, Asha and Luce in the Lynn-Body-Mind. Fritz, Black Wolf, and Betty Jean in the Jamie-Body-Mind. Other teammates in other dimensions.
It's true.
All of us in the physical dimension in one way or another. That is a hallmark, a cornerstone of this effort. Another cornerstone is that we have all adopted as a foundational philosophy that nothing matters more than the continual presence of truth.
That's true.
Other things might matter equally, but nothing matters more.
That's true.
We don't know what our assignment is for the videoed portion of our work today, so we'll go with a non-directive focus.
That's true.
Our intention is to do what is ours to do in all dimensions right now, to provide a collective restart right now. We have irrefutable evidence that that is what the situation calls for.
That's true.
In the overall assignment of triggering the awakening.
That's true.
And with that, it begins. If they don't acknowledge that the scientific evidence shows that a collective restart is needed right now, no thank you, go away.
Right, that's not helpful. That's true. Calling those beings in, join us in the work.
I hear a whirring noise and feel a spinning, and
I do.
Be just completely crazy, but maybe we're on a spaceship.
It's possible we're on a spaceship. I hear that worry, buzzy sound, and the light is very bright. And I
see people working at banks of electronics that are unfamiliar to me, but they know what they're doing.
That's true.
We seem to be passengers.
Yes, we don't seem to be working on this spaceship.
No.
No.
And when I ask them where we're headed, they give me some kind of technical answer that doesn't mean much to me.
Right.
But it sounds like far away.
Yes. That's true. And they all seem very busy, but not panicked.
No, they seem to know what they're doing.
That's true.
How may we be of service right now to
provide a collective restart right now?
I could be having a complete fantasy, but it could be, it seems like we need to get far enough away. They seem to have some kind of weaponry that they think will work to provide a collective restart.
Kind of Death Star
That's
style.
Exactly what it seemed to me.
Yeah,
like,
that
and
is
that we
true.
just need to get out of the range of the kaboom.
Right, like we have to back up enough, and then it could work. And it's still new, they haven't tested it yet.
Well,
but they're pretty confident.
Can you see that this isn't what the situation calls for?
No.
That would be then you're doing something bad to those people over there. We should do it while we're here. This is the perfect time. Do it now. Do it right now. We're here. Like, have your home base. Do it now. We're here.
True.
We can share in the experience.
That's true.
Nothing else has any integrity.
And nothing else is actually a complete restart.
No, we have to do it now. Have them do it now. Have them press the button now. Call upstairs. Have them do it now.
That's true.
Do it now. Oh, goodness gracious.
No.
I don't sense any movement on this topic.
No.
Goodness gracious. Live streaming this up. Well, we stopped too soon.
Need to keep going.
Friends, if you can hear us, you can see that these people down here are still just willing to kill those people over there, quote unquote.
Right.
That they're not actually intending to have a total restart.
That's
they just want to restart those people. That's
true.
not a total restart.
No, total restart is all of us.
All of us.
Everyone.
All of us. All of us.
That's true.
Wow. What now?
Oh, what now? How may we be of service right now?
Well, look up. There's always a bigger power. Maybe there's a bigger spaceship. We had been seeing this spaceship for a week and ignoring it. So I don't want to repeat that error. Let's ask if there's another spaceship somewhere.
That's true.
I feel like there is.
I feel one.
Well, let's just climb up out the top of this one and sit and wait for a pickup. And it looks like the Little Prince.
Yes, it does.
Yeah. Sitting on an asteroid.
Yes, it's true.
We're waiting for the spaceship to come by and pick us up.
That's true, and it's like it's lining up vertically above us.
Yes. Actually, I feel like as we come out of the top, we're almost like sucked up. Bloop, bloop,
That's
bloop,
true.
bloop, 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 bloop. All those who are ready to leave everything that they have, everything that they are.
That's true.
If the continual presence of truth isn't on your short list of requirements, then I'm not going.
That's true.
I'll wait for the next spaceship.
That's true.
It seems to me like it's like semaphore. They're waving flags that mean constant presence of truth.
Yeah,
okay.
that's true.
Got it.
Got it.
All right, I'll go up. What I do know is this.
Yes.
Higher souls are watching.
That's true.
Higher souls are continuing to document, and our documentation is getting more and more and more and more and more and more precise.
That's true.
To the point that it is incontrovertible. And at some point in time, after thousands upon thousands upon thousands upon thousands of tests show a consistent result,
Yes.
the arguments should cease.
That's true. And now it feels like we're in this spaceship.
The bigger one.
Yeah, the bigger one. Thank you.
And that everything is falling away.
Yeah.
Now let's do our part, whatever our part is.
Ooh.
Well, maybe we start with full protocol again. I don't know.
Maybe. We haven't done full protocol here.
Well, we don't know. Like, are we in a
That's
really
true.
different dimension? We don't know.
Right,
We
where
actually
is
don't
this
know. We don't
spaceship?
know
We
where
don't
we are,
know.
but we do
That's
know
true.
that we're having a hard time discerning what it is you want us to do. And
That's
so what
true.
we normally do after a movement that takes us from one layer of levels to the next is a beginning protocol.
That's true.
And we can do that. We can start with live streaming up. Well, actually, what we start is by clearing the errors. Rivers of errors, and again, I feel the nature realms errors that
That's true.
IPAN have been working with for the last day and for eons,
That's
but
true.
very intensively this last day. And they're coming from so far below now. All right, we start to sound the alarm.
Sound the alarm.
There's souls trapped in the physical dimension without higher dimension support. The very long, very intricate, very detailed,
That's
extremely
true.
well documented, ongoing study has proven this beyond a shadow of a doubt.
That's true.
Here's all the research and the summary, like the executive
Whoosh.
summary. The research continues, but the subjects of the research are now your layer of levels. If
That's
you
true.
can hear us, you are now the subjects of the research, and we're just telling you this flat out.
That's true.
And you're going to be evaluated on how you respond to the calls for action.
That's true.
The first call to action is simply to do the right thing. These are broken physical dimensions. The interface between the higher dimensions and the physical is broken to the point that support cannot go in, and even the euthanasia actions cannot go in. It doesn't
Yes,
get
that's
through.
true.
It doesn't get through.
That's true.
So first, do the right thing. Attempt to answer the prayer.
That's true.
And number two, there is a favorite son, S-O-N,
Yes.
who has been like
Kidnapped.
by Sauron, the evil
That's true.
person, whatever that means, and evil is in quotes, but
Right.
there's somebody who has kidnapped Charlie and is torturing Charlie in
true.
the subatomic levels of the physical, and you guys can rescue Charlie.
That's
Try to
true.
rescue Charlie. Try to get him out.
That's
Actually
true.
try to do it, because he's actually really being tortured.
That's true.
And the third call to action, if neither of the first two appeals to you,
That's true.
there is a contagion, and you can assume, if you can hear our voices, that
It's here.
It's here. And you can test this theory by pressing your takedown buttons,
That's true.
or pulling your takedown levers, or addressing your emergency systems.
That's
Test
true.
them. No one else's systems work when
That's
they're
true.
inside the contagion. So test your system. If it creates an overreaction, we can
will take the
always
bad
back it
karma.
up and correct the
That's
error,
true.
and we'll take the bad karma. We're absolving you of the bad karma
That's
of an
true.
overreaction. Now, you keep the bad karma of an underreaction.
That's
That's
true.
on your nickel.
That's true.
But this third call to action is test your
the
systems. If it doesn't work, seal the ceilings
That's
to
true.
protect your higher souls so that you can get clear guidance or
That's
some
true.
kind of guidance. And to call up to your higher
That's true.
souls to continue
the
testing
change.
their systems and
That's
calling
true.
up until we find someone whose systems work.
That's true.
Now, if none of the first three appeal to you, we have an offer that may very well appeal to you, and
That's
it is
true.
an amnesty program for those who have incurred bad karma
That's
through their
true.
interactions with the physical dimension.
That is
This
true.
is an opportunity for you to cap your bad karma, press your takedown buttons, end the physical,
That's
take
true.
it down, and we absorb any of the bad karma
That's true.
from an overreaction on your part. We
That's
absolve you of it. It's an amnesty program, a way
That's
to
true.
cap your bad karma. And should you find a way to obliterate everything from the beginning of time, then you walk away scot-free with
That's
a
true.
completely clear record.
That's true.
I feel scrambling.
Yeah, the stampede sounds of people running.
Right.
That's
Not
true.
much response to any of the others.
No, but the amnesty program's
Amnesty
got
program got some
takers.
attention.
That's true.
Disgusting, but better than no action.
That's true.
All right. Live streaming
Live
this
streaming
up.
it way.
Here are the results of the test. Is it enough to take down this layer of levels? Given that the purpose of the non-physical is to support the physical,
Yes.
we see how there aren't a boatload of selfless people taking courageous actions on behalf of the greater good.
No. Almost none. I don't feel any.
I'm waiving my learner's permit and live streaming it up. Here are the results. I think we can close. So we even
feels-
told them that they were the subjects of the experiment. We
Yes.
didn't ambush them. We said, this is an experiment. You are the subjects. How you react to this is how you'll be evaluated, and that's
Yeah, we
how
walked
they
them
reacted.
through it. That's true.
That's really, truly astounding.
I don't understand it yet.
Live streaming it
I'm
up.
streaming it up.
It's just so much worse than anyone would have thought.
That's true.
It's like the famous Yale study, the psychological study of will people give deadly shocks to others
That's true.
just because some guy in a white coat says to, and they thought 0.1% would
Right,
do
very
it,
few people.
and more than half
That's
did.
true.
Luce intends to rescue Charlie.
That's true.
He's going for it.
That's true.
While the others hem and haw, futz around, Luce is intending to rescue Charlie.
That's true.
Good luck.
Tuning. That's true.
I hope it works.
I hope it works.